Hey everybody, it's Jeremy with ABC Emergency, and welcome to part 3 of the 3-part series, the first 3 things you need to know to prepare for any emergency. I asked 2 questions, and they were, what are you most concerned about when it comes to emergency preparation? And what are you most interested in? And I got a lot of responses from people that said, I'd love to answer that question, I just don't know how, because I don't know anything. So we figured we'd start off with a foundation level, the first 3 steps when you want to start getting prepared. Step number 1, the first thing you need to have when you want to start preparing for emergencies is knowledge. It doesn't have to be extensive knowledge, but there's a couple key things you want to hone in on. First, get an understanding of your area, the area that you live in. What types of emergencies are you most likely to encounter? Once we start with those, we can start adding on. Another thing to consider is who are your dependents? And by dependents, I mean people who will depend on you in an emergency. Your spouse, your kids, your pets, friends or family, anybody that's going to go through this emergency with you. All right, now step 2, what's the second thing you want to be considering? And that is your plans. You want to have your plans in place, and multiple types of plans, right? Communication plans, get home safe plans, evacuation plans. Okay, so there's some things there that you need to go through, and every one of your dependents should be a part of this conversation, and everyone should be on the same page. So the more detailed, the better off you're going to be. All right. That brings us to the third point. Today's point, part 3. What's the third thing you need to consider? And that is your gear. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, let's just do this. Like they want to start with the gear. But your gear should complement your plan. It should support that plan. So you don't start with the gear, you start with the plan. Now, your gear should be specific to your needs. You and your loved ones. So make sure that you're adding things into your gear, customizing your kits to your specific wants and needs. Things to consider. If you have kids, you should have some extra gear for them. If you have babies, right? Throw some wipes, some formula into your kits. I've rotated through those when my babies were babies, right? If you have pets, you should have some extra gear, some leashes, maybe some cat carriers. The last thing you want to deal with in the middle of an emergency is your pet running wild and you can't get it under control. All right, when time is of the essence, you don't have time to waste. You also want to consider things like elderly, maybe you have special needs. All of these things will dictate extra things that you'll add to your gear. Now, we can expand on all this later, and I do have some master classes coming down the line that will walk you through this entire process from start to finish. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, subscribe to either the ABC Emergency Instagram channel. I have a YouTube channel. I also have an ABC Emergency Training Facebook group. And I'm going to be putting a lot of information on these, okay? Now, last thing I'm going to say, I have a free kit building course. If you click on the link in the bio, this will get you started, okay? It's a free little mini course. Will get you started building your very first kit. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. All right. We'll see you on the other side.